Hey family and brothers and sisters. I wanted to share this video and kind of encourage you guys to come along with me in this challenge. I was in adoration about 3 days ago, and this overwhelming love and feeling in my heart was just overflowing for who the Lord is and who he was and who he is to me, what he's done in my life. And he brought back this memory. I remember when I was traveling and was coming back home, and I remember being in the airport, and I felt in my heart, tugging my heart, the Lord is telling me to go and talk to certain people. But for whatever reason, because of fear and lack of courage, I didn't rise up to the occasion to reach out to them. And I got into the airplane at this point. I was like, Lord, I just pray that you please redeem this time. I pray for the person sitting next to me would be a heart open to want to know about you. And so sure enough, as I sit next to this wonderful, beautiful girl, beautiful woman, she come to find she's a Jewish young lady, and we just began to talk just about our lives and everything. And before I knew it, she just straight up asked me, "Who is Jesus? Who is he?" And I was just blown away. And I started thinking, pondering about that 3 days ago, and how many people really don't know who Jesus is. Who is Jesus? If somebody asked you that as a believer, who is Jesus, what would you say? So I felt this inspiration in my heart to do this video, Who is Jesus Challenge. There are so many challenges out there, but why not do a challenge or video, to share who the Lord is to you? And so that's what I really wanted to share, is who is Jesus? If anyone watching the video would ask me, who is Jesus? Let me tell you about who he is. Let me tell you about this man who has captured my heart, who has got me to fall so hopelessly in love with him, who's so amazing and so merciful. He has an amazing sense of humor. He is hilarious when you come to know him and come to know his ways. And sometimes too, there's times where his ways you may not really understand what he's doing, why he does what he does, or why he allows what he does. But as you continue to walk with him and trust him, you begin to see how he's weaving this tapestry of grace in your life. That truly everything that he allows, even as bad and painful and terrible may be, it really is indeed for your good. And it draws you closer to him, to trust him and to have faith in him. He is my incomparable and constant friend. He is my best friend. He's the one who I run to in the morning. He's the sole person I run to at night. He has become my refuge, the only one who makes sense in my life and can give me guidance and wisdom. He's always there, and I love that he loves the details of our lives. He never gets impatient. Even though I tell him stories or certain things over and over again, he listens as if it's the first time he's ever heard it. And he loves to draw me out of my shell, draw me out of sometimes the limitations I put myself in, because he believes in me. He believes in me. He believes in what he's put in me, the treasures he's put in me, when no one else has or no one else will, he does. And he loves me. He loves me with a love that I cannot explain, which causes me to actually love him even more. He loves me at my worst, when I've fallen so terribly, when I've failed him so terribly, when I've offended him and hurt him so terribly. He's still there with his arms open wide to love me. And every time I run to him, he's there. I see him in the spirit as his arms are open, and he just holds me so tenderly, close to his heart, telling me that's going to be okay. Telling me that he's faithful, that he has great plans ahead for me. Telling me at times, admonishing me, telling me the way that I could have done things better, and just apply myself the next day. He's so gracious. He is so gracious, and he doesn't see like men sees. He's not moved by what I do. He's not moved by how I look. He's not moved by what I say, but he's moved by his love for me. That's what moves him, because that's who he is. That is his nature, is love. It's kindness, it's graciousness, it's mercy. He is so merciful that even at times, like I said, when I mess up the most, I can know I can run to him. He's the only one that I can run to. He's never once betrayed me. Never once spoken behind my back, spoken against me. Even the times when I've spoken against myself, then he comes in and he admonishes me to let me know who I am in him and how he sees me. He is so kind and gentle, and he loves to be acknowledged. He loves to do breakfast with me. He loves to do the dishes with me. That's one of his favorite things to do. We do the dishes together, and he loves that because at that point we get just to share each other about our day. I share my heart and my thoughts with him, and sometimes he shares his heart and thoughts with me. But he loves when I serve, and he loves when we do it together. He loves to do life together with me. Everything, to the most smallest little tasks, the most biggest things. He loves to create, and he loves for us to work together to create things. Whether it's creating music or creating paintings or creating messages, he loves to create with me. I recognize that he loves just to co-labor. Everything's always cooperating, even who he is. He's so humble, so meek in heart, that he would humble himself to cooperate with me. He meets me exactly where I'm at every single time. And because of his love and his graciousness, it continues to draw me higher, draw me to himself. And at times he's very demanding. He'd be so demanding, and he's jealous. He's a jealous lover and a jealous spouse. So sometimes he loves me all to himself. Most of the time he loves me all to himself. And so strongly and so gently and so passionately. In the most sweetest, the most purest way he loves. And so the times when he demands things of me is because he knows, once again, he believes in me. He knows what he's put within me. And he knows that my weaknesses. He's okay with my weaknesses. I can tell him all about my weaknesses. Because in my weaknesses, that's where he tells me, okay, we can cooperate together. I know you're weak in these certain areas. Let me stand in and let's do this together and rely on my strength. Be confident in who I am in you, that you're able to do it. And when he speaks to me like that, it just melts my heart. And it gives me the grace to just press forward and to do things even more so for him. He is so gentle of heart. And even though being who he is, he can be so easily, his heart is so tender. So he loves to be consoled. Makes himself, love makes yourself vulnerable. So he makes himself vulnerable to me. He makes himself needed by me. My love, my worship. That's who he is. And because of that, once again, it just allows me to draw near to him because of who he is, how personable he is, how intimate he is with me in every detail of my life. And he's constant. He's so steadfast. He's an anchor. He's never once left my side. In the most darkest moments, when he allowed everyone to remove themselves from me, when he allowed everyone to turn their backs upon me, he never once did. And he did all of that so that I may know how steadfast he is. I may know the anchor that he is in my life, that he may be my everything. And I'm so grateful now looking back for every trial, every test that he allowed, every stripping, every crushing, because he has become my everything. He is home for me. He's my source of joy. He's my source of hope. He is love itself. Everything that I need is found only in him, and I've come to know that because of what he's allowed in my life. So don't be disheartened when you find yourself rejected. Don't be disheartened when you find yourself, everyone around you has turned their backs. Don't be dejected when you find yourself the ones closest to you that you thought would be a fortress, that you desired to rely on, had expectations on, let you down. Don't be disheartened, because that's the time where he rises up. That's the time where you begin to notice that he is your anchor. He is your strength. He is that incomparable friend that no one could touch. No one can ever compare to, nor ever will. And he becomes your source. He becomes your everything as you cling to him. He will never let you down. He's so freaking faithful, and he is so good. I have come to know that in the tears, in the pain, in the trials. I look back now and I recognize, like, God, you are so good. When I didn't understand, when I didn't know what it is that you were doing, when it didn't make sense, I see now what it is that you were working out. I don't even see the full picture, but I see the fruit in my life. The joy unspeakable I have, the peace that I cannot explain because he has become my everything. God, I thank you. That's who Jesus is. He is God, the one and only King of kings and Lord of lords. He is the Messiah, Christ, the anointed one. But he is also fully man. And he's all these things to me. He's the lover of my soul. He is my everything. He really is my best friend and my spouse. And as a spouse, he loves to do life with us. As a spouse, he loves to be ingrained in every detail of our lives. And as a spouse, he loves to cover us, protect us, and guide us. And as a spouse, he has laid down his life that he may love you, may know you, may be with you for all of eternity if you'd open your heart to him. That is who Jesus is. And that's who he is to me. So I challenge you now watching this. I challenge you, even if you have children, to encourage your children, just ask them, who is Jesus? And to have them just pour out their heart who Jesus is. And I believe that the Lord will take this challenge, whomever you may be. You never know. Just one word. There's souls that God has called you to touch. Just one word, one explanation of your experience of who Jesus is can touch so many souls to draw near to him, to want to know him personally. He's not a far off distant God. He's not a God of religion and rules, but he's a God of personal relationship. And in that relationship, you come to yield to his ways, his guidance, his wisdom. That is always, always good. He's so merciful. He's not partial at all to any persons. As I mentioned, it's not about what you do. It's not about what you look like. But it's about who he is. If your heart is open and willing to know him, he's so ready, more than you ever are, to make himself available to you, to show himself to you, to speak to you, yes, you, to love on you like never before. That love you've been desiring and seeking from men, from women, from your children, from your spouse. I'm telling you, Jesus wants to be your everything. So I pray this message encourages you and it challenges you as well. For those who know him personally and walk in a relationship with you, I challenge you to do Who is Jesus challenge, to share with others and those around you. Who is Jesus? Who is he? That they may come to know him too. God bless you guys.